What were your first thoughts when you decided to play David Duke?
Well, I thought that the script did a really great job of, David's not in kind of the first half of the movie, and they show what the common idea of a racist might have been in the early 70s, which was like a redneck, beer belly guy. And then when David enters the film, kind of the same thing happens when David got on the scene in America. The most evil thing about him is kind of how well-spoken he is, how smart he is, like Ron was saying. And so he kind of rebranded racism. We talk about in the film, he only wears three-piece suits. He never wears the hood in public. So I remember thinking, just reading the script, it was kind of a lesson in, oh, this is something that has its roots in something that's going on today. A kind of a readjustment of racism, making it more palatable for more people, which makes it, what he did, more evil, in my opinion. But then the idea of playing it was like terrifying, because I've never played a character or anything like this. So I went and met with Spike, and he made me feel very comfortable. There are zero other directors that I would do this with besides Spike Lee.
There's a difference between playing a villain who could be hated by the end of the movie, and you want the hero to win over that villain, and playing a real life villain who's still alive and represents so much disgust and hatred in our culture.
Yeah, people would say, actors usually say, you should find something that you agree with in the character, or something where you can, like, you personally can root for him, even if it's a villain, like you're playing the Joker or something. You gotta find something from his point of view that makes you empathize with the character. I couldn't do it. I did a lot of research on this character. I read his autobiography, which is horrible. Ron, have you read it? Yes.
I've read a few pages of it, but like Hitler's Mein Kampf,
yeah,
unless you're into that ideology, you can't get through it.
It was like the worst month of my life doing that research. It was watching a lot of filmed interviews of him from the 70s. He was actually on a few episodes of Donahue in the early 80s, which was really interesting, watching him interact with a crowd that didn't like him. He's actually, this is where you see how evil he is, because he's really good with the crowd. Even though they hate him, he's like the more research I did, the more
He loved those shows. I mean, that's sort of a problem that we have right now, is the more shocking these people are, the more...
So I don't know who you're talking about in particular, but you are right. There are some leaders who are very charismatic and very into media, and they garner a lot of attention and
run their rallies nonstop on our
I'm not talking about anyone in particular, yeah. But he's
free advertising. I mean, I'm not sure exactly who we're referring, but yeah.
I don't know who you're talking about, but by the way, a lot of leaders over time have been very charismatic and good with the media at the time, and it makes them more dangerous because their message gets out wider. For me, it was really the most depressing month of my life, just spending all that time in that place. And it's why you have to work with a great leader like Spike Lee, because he knows how to come up to, even some of the days we shot where it was Klan stuff, he'd kind of come up to me and kind of pat my back and say, like, hey, you're serving my message, and I know what I'm doing, and I'm Spike Lee. and it made it okay. It never felt great.